Hello my DIY crafting friends. Today I'm going to be making a couple things for a junk journal or a scrap journal or a scrapbook. You know, fun paper items. So I have a couple of envelopes. I'm going to make some envelopes. Going to make some roses out of a book and little bows. Years ago, I had made these. A friend of mine was, that we were having a baby shower for her, and I basically made like garland with these, and we painted them pink and blue. Very pretty. So that's what I'm going to be doing today. So for the envelopes, you need paper that's the exact width and length. It has to be the same. Right, like what I'm trying to say is this is 6 inches by 6 inch paper. You can't do 6 inch by 7 inch, it doesn't work out. So you need the exact width and length of the paper. So this is 6 inches by 6 inches. Here's my paper. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this corner and fold them together. I just want to put a crease in my paper. Right about here. Okay, see the crease? So then what you do is you take one side and you fold it down, and then the other side you want them to meet in the middle and fold them down. This is very, very thick cardstock, so I'm going to use my bone folder to push it down. Now I'm going to take my paper and bring it up in the middle, and I'm going to use my bone folder again. This helps crease my paper. Now I am going to cut this piece off because I'd like it to be a pretty envelope. So I cut this off, which I am going to use this in one of my projects. And then right here, these two, I'm going to cut them off. And since I use my bone folder, hope you can see that, I can see very well where I need to cut. So I'm going to go here and here. And I try to save a lot of my products. And if I can think of something to do with them, even better. I'm not trying to be a pack rat, but I am trying to save items I can use for different things. So put these in the middle, and this here, if it's not even, just take your scissors and cut and cut. Now I usually use glue to glue this down, but I'm going to do that later. So I'm trying to fix the side. It doesn't seem straight to me. It probably was, but I'm a nudge. So there we go. Okay, so when I glue it, I glue here and here, and then I take the middle, the top piece, and fold it down. And here is my precious envelope that I made. I've made others. And what I like to do is put them in my scrapbook or junk journal and open it up, and I fill it with little items. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. Okay, so that's one craft, the envelopes. I think they're really nice. So here's our envelopes. Any kind of paper you have, you can use. You can use newspaper, you can use books, you can use any kind of cardstock you have for these. Now I'm going to be making these lovely roses. Okay? And I'm going to be using papers from a book. Anybody who knows me knows I love to use books. I have a lid that I've had that I use for my circles. And I need my pen. I don't know where that went. Here it is. I knew I had it. Okay, so I'm going to go over here because I can be able to use the paper more than once for my circles. And then, let me make sure, let me turn it this way so I can see. Okay, so I have more than one piece of paper here because it's just much faster and they're not going to turn out the exact same. So I'm going to cut one part of the circle. Doesn't have to be perfect because we are going to change it a bit, but I'm trying to stay as close to the line as possible. Okay, so I'm going to save this for later. Now what you want to do is you want to make it bumpy like a cloud, and I'll show you what I mean. I'm going to go in with my scissors, and then I'm going to start making little waves and stuff so that I can have petals that aren't the exact same. So as I'm doing this, I'm going to continue around my circle and keep making designs. You can make your circle as big as you'd like, or as small of a circle as you want. You know, because you're going to be putting it in a book or on the outside cover. The outside cover is not so much because of the fact that the outside cover isn't going to get mashed down by your pages. But that is okay. So now I'm done and it looks like a little snake. You are going to need a roller, which this has a hole in it. Not a hole, but a slit in it. So oh, I am so sorry I did that. My bad. Okay, so let's get back to it. I'm going to take this apart. Try not to rip your paper. You're going to want the wavy end. This wavy part, not the circular part, the wavy part, you're going to want on the top, going to the top. So what I mean is, you don't want it this way, because this is going to be my petals are going to be upward. So I put this in this, put this in here, in the slit. Okay? Then, roll the paper back, and gently start rolling your rows. I do a lot of this when I'm watching TV. I like to keep busy. I also have rheumatoid arthritis, so I try to keep my hands moving as much as possible because I have a lot of problems with my hands having the RA, and there's some days I just can't. But when I can do crafts, I try to do them. My son puts them up on his computer, and then once a week they are downloaded. So they're just, I call them in the slot. So you're just going to continue to keep wrapping around your rolling tube. You can do it with your fingers. I just think this is easier to do it this way. I should turn on my heat gun. So you're going to keep continually rolling. Doesn't have to be perfect, but you want it to look nice when you're done. And it will look beautiful as my other flowers look. I think they're stunning. You can paint them. You can use alcohol ink. Anything your heart desires for the colors you need. Now, I am going to take this off, and it's very, very tight, so I want it to loosen up a bit. So what I'm doing is I'm turning it in the opposite direction of the way I rolled. Counterclockwise, I'm assuming. So that it'll give me more puppies for my rose. So just a little too tight. But that's okay. So here is what it looks like. Now I'm going to get, hopefully my hot glue gun is heated up, which I don't think it is. It's getting there. When I leave my hot glue gun on, I waste a lot of glue while I'm waiting, you know, if I leave it on too long. Still trying to get it. I want to get it in the middle, just like that. Take my wraparound and put it right there. Okay. And then I fold as I'm holding it for the glue. I start folding the pages back so that it looks like a blooming flower. Here it is. Now I also have little ink pads that I got from Amazon, and I'm going to go with dark blue, whatever color blue this is, and just do the tips. To give it some definition. Kind of came apart, so let me give it a little more. Okay. There it is. Now, for the next one, I'm going to do one more of the roses just so you can see. I don't want it that big. So let me take my paper. Okay. And I want to scrunch it up. Scrunch it up so it'll have a little bit of creases in my petals. And the end part has the bigger circle at the end, so I'm going to go down maybe halfway. So I just ripped it in half. Like I said, you want your scalloped edges on the top, and take your tool, your rolling tool, put the paper in between in the hole, hold it, and start rolling. It doesn't have to be tight, it doesn't have to be perfect. Every rose is individual and is beautifully elegant. I am just trying to make a smaller rose. I really hope this is in focus for you, because I keep trying to see it, plus let you see this. So here it is, and I'm going to take it off, just like this, and I'm going to try and open it up a little bit by unraveling it just a little so I can have some more petals to manipulate. So here it is. I'm going to use the hot glue gun. Now you could take, if you'd like, your rolling tube, put it on the paper, and just bend your leaves back a bit. It's entirely up to you how you want to do this, but I think it gives more definition when you fold the pages. But here it is, a cute little flower. Now I'm going to add a color to that. I'm thinking orange. And then just stamp it down on there. So pretty. Just so pretty and so much fun to make. Okay, the last part of this 3-part craft are these adorable little bows. Okay, so you're going to need a ruler and some paper. I have a piece of paper here. Okay, for the bows, I just took a piece of paper from a book. And then you want to measure. You can make them as big as you like. I just like to do the width of the ruler. So I put the ruler on the paper. And I draw a line. And I cut on the line. And because I folded it in half, I can do more than one. But I'm going to fold the paper again in half. And then this one in half, because these are going to be 2 separate bows. But I also like to crinkle up the paper. So then you need a piece of the paper for the middle and for the little ribbons hanging down. So here's my paper. Make sure you even it up on the ends for your bow. Now, if I'm using paper, book paper, I just go down and cut around where I think I can. It's usually near the second line of words. And you can have your ribbon that's going to be on the bottom. Just fold this in half. I want to even this out because it's not straight. There's excess. So I'm just going to cut this. And then I cut it on a slant. And it can either go this way, or you can flip it around and bend it and be this way, which I like that better. And then I use a little bit of the scrap to go around the middle. Very easy peasy lemon squeezy. Let me show you. So you just lay your paper flat, and then you kind of like fold it together in the middle. So you just continue to fold it together in the middle, just like that. Take a piece of the paper that you have, and you're going to wrap it around your bow. But of course I have to wait for my glue gun to heat up, so I'm going to show you that again. So you take your paper, you have the 2 pieces together, and you want to fold it inward. fold it inwards, scrunch it up, pull these out, just like that. And you have yourself a bow. And then, waiting on my glue gun, you're going to wrap around a piece of paper and glue that on, and then glue the bottom piece on. This could be as long as you want. If it's too long, you could always pull it like that off, and voila, that's what it'll look like when my glue gun's done. You could paint these, you could use inks, which you can make them any color you'd like for your craft. I like to do the ends. I just think it's very pretty, and because there's two ends in here on each side, and then do this side. I'm waiting for my glue gun to heat up so I can show you, but I'm just showing you inking my bow. And you could just dab it on there too if you'd like to give it some color. And there you have it. There's your bow. Okay, now I'm still waiting glue gun to be heated up so I can glue this together, but I'm thinking I'm also going to stain some paper with coffee while I have my recorder running, which is fun to do too for an antique effect. So the bow, I have the middle piece, put it in the middle. Oh, that is an awful lot of hot glue that I didn't really need, but there you go. And then for the sides, 1, 2, little sides, so glue the back, just like that. Just like that. How adorable is that? Okay, for the next part, I'm going to take paper, which I'm going to use this, and I want to show you what I do when I want to stain with coffee. So I'm going to get my coffee mixture, and I'll be right back. Okay, when I make my coffee mixture, you can't let it sit too long because of the fact that when you do that, it starts to get moldy. I don't know why. But I do like to put coffee grounds in here. I have no problem with that. I also have one of these droppers. You could use a mist gun or, you know, a spray bottle, whatever you like. But I want to color in a couple of these crafts that I have here. Okay, so I take my dropper, and the coffee, the literal coffee flakes will come off of the paper, but if it doesn't, it gives you added texture. So I am just sucking up some coffee, and you could splatter it just like I did, just like that, just like that. You could touch it, whatever you're working on, but have fun with it. Now this is going to take a little bit to dry, but I do enjoy splattering coffee on items. Now, if you want, it's not going to turn out this dark. I wish at times it would, but it doesn't. No matter how long I let the coffee sit in the mixture. So I'm going to take another paper that I have, just part that I cut in a circle, and I'm going to pat it down on top of my splat. Now there's a big chunk of coffee right here. Big chunk. I got no problem with that. It can either stay on there or it could be wiped off. It's entirely your choice. But I like to make my papers look vintage. Now, another thing you can do if you just want the end. So here's my coffee splatter and the one I did here. Here is a rose and a bow. Now, say you just want the edge of your paper. Simple. I'm just going to rip this. Okay? Take your bowl and dip it in. You could tilt it so you get more of an effect, just like this. Or, if you don't want that much, just dip it in, and there you go. Hardly anything. It's entirely up to you. It is so much fun to stain paper with coffee and tea bags and just have fun with it. Now, I did all around, but I want to scrunch it up, because if it gets coffee in the middle, I have no problem with that either. So this is actually, with me scrunching it up, putting color in different parts of the paper. And it's going to take a while to dry, but like I said, you can take the coffee off. The coffee seed. Not coffee, oh my goodness. Coffee grounds. Where I got coffee seeds from is beyond me, but it's very easy to wipe off. You can keep it on there. It's entirely up to you. It's just a lot of fun. Thanks so much for watching. Have a blessed day, and hopefully I'll see you very, very soon. And I hope you enjoyed these crafts. Bye!